So Pat and I will be offering some words that are intended to be a meditation on creation. And so don't feel the need to look at us. I invite you, if you're comfortable, just to close your eyes and to allow the words to come from our hearts, speak to your hearts, maybe even bypass that egoic mind of ours. These words are intended to prepare us for a visual encounter with nature, which will be before you in a few minutes, which will be underscored by some beautiful music. So let the words of our mouth, the meditations of all of our hearts, be in tune with your love and power, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. And let us begin in silence as we attend to our breath, taking a breath in and being mindful of the great mystery happening all the time in and through us, whether or not we are conscious of it. But bring your consciousness to your breath and allow your breath to open you up in this moment to the presence of God within in this moment. As Christians, we believe God is our creator and the creator of all things, visible and invisible. We believe, as the first story in Genesis teaches us, that creation is a gift from God, and it is good. We believe God creates out of an abundance of love, and creation flows from the fountain fullness of God's love. It shouldn't surprise us then that scientists continue to discover that creation itself is alive and dynamic and relational. Religion and science are partners in the journey towards a healthier relationship with creation. Religion teaches us why creation exists and for what purpose, while science teaches us how creation works and how our actions can either heal or harm.
Saint Bonaventure, a disciple of Saint Francis of Assisi, said creation is like a beautiful song that flows in the most excellent of harmonies. Have you ever spent time outside and simply listened to this beautiful song and its wonderful harmonies? Have you ever experienced what happens to you when you give yourself permission to commune with nature? We believe there is nothing that compels God to create, but God freely chooses to sing the song of creation into the vast spaces of the universe. We might say then that creation is the finite, loving outflow of an infinitely loving God. And planet Earth, which we celebrate today, exists by virtue of the free creative power of divine love.
Thomas Berry said, "The universe is not a collection of objects, but a communion of subjects. And as human beings, we are encouraged to grant subjectivity to creation. For creation is not simply the stage upon which humans act, or the backdrop for our human longings. It has dignity, meaning, and purpose. The Celtic Christians studied two sacred books, the Bible and the book of creation, known as the Green Bible. They took seriously the teachings of the Apostle Paul, who said that we can come to know who God is by paying attention to what God has made. They understood, as we are invited to understand once again, that nature is sacramental, full of signs of the presence of God.
And here's a great mystery we have forgotten, neglected, and at times dishonored. You and I, all of us, are part of creation. From dust we have come, and to dust we shall return. Every human being is made of recycled and repurposed dust. And while we are alive, the breath that is animating our lives is the same breath that is animating all of creation. In essence, we share our body and our breath with all creation, including the plants, the trees, the birds, the fish, the animals, etc. But sadly and tragically, modern life has cultivated an illusion, one might even say a delusion, of separateness between human beings and nature. And as a result, we are conditioned to be observers of nature or exploiters of nature rather than participants in it. While science tries to master the details of nature, religion needs to restore our spiritual connection to creation.
So let us take a prayerful pause and gaze upon these images from our planet and our universe, and consider how the creatures that we see are our brothers and sisters, and allow the music to lead us into communion with our deepest nature. May we ponder the goodness of the one who has created all of this, given it to us as an expression of deep love, and calls us to care for it as if it were ourselves, which we now know today it is. Following the time of music and imagery, as the Spirit moves you, you are invited to come forward to receive an anointing and a blessing. There will be stations in front of you. Go to one of them. If you'd like to be anointed on your hand instead of your forehead, simply extend your hand when you come forward to one of the stations. So let's continue to pray, to gaze upon these images, to look at our kin, and allow the music to lead us into communion with our deepest nature.